Hi, Dean here with Mad Max RT. I haven't done one of these car vlogs in a while, and I've got a pretty good reason to do one now. I haven't done much with my Challenger. I've had it for about 2 years. My wife drove it the better part of the first year as a commuter. She got her Maxima, and since then I've put it in the garage. It's been in there. I put maybe less than 2,000 miles on it in the last year and a half. I mean, it just sits in the garage. I recently went through and had another synthetic oil change. I had all new brakes, new rotors, new ceramic pads. Had an airbag recall. Had a kind of a faulty power window switch that was acting up, so I fixed that on it. But for the most part, it's been a really reliable car. And like any used car, when I bought it, had 14,000 miles. It had some rock chips on the front windshield and on the nose of the car. And I've been meaning to paint stripes on and do some graphics of satin black on the center of the hood and paint the rear spoiler satin black, and been debating whether or not to do some kind of like RT side stripes down the side of it. But I held off because I said, well, I'll wait, and eventually I'll have the front nose taken off at a body shop, and I'll have it all repainted so it's like new. And it had some rock chips, and I've touched those up. I got a little pen from Chrysler that you can really finely touch up just the chips, to where they don't show any more than they have to. And so for the most part, it's been pretty clean, but the nose of it was pretty hammered. The guy before must have drove right behind trucks on the freeway because it was just sandblasted with just a myriad of really tiny little rock chips, and the windshield was as well. I said, well, I'll get a new windshield when I move to Boise, and I'll eventually have the front bumper fascia painted, and then it will look more or less like new, and I touch up the rest of it. Well, lately, I've had a rash of bad luck with my health and just all kinds of things, money and everything that's happened. And so the timing for this wasn't the greatest, but it worked out good in the end. So my wife has been taking a couple trips down to LA more frequently now that her parents are getting older. Her brother passed away, so she had to go down again to go over arrangements for some things. So she goes, can you take me to the airport? I said, yeah, I'd be happy to. I like taking her to the airport. She could take Uber, but I like to say goodbye, and I like to pick her up and greet her when she comes in off the plane. So I take the Challenger early in the morning, take her down like at 5:30 in the morning. No traffic, go there and back, no problems. When I go to pick her up like a week later, and it was kind of a shitty time of day. It's heavy, heavy traffic. California, the freeways just pack up. I mean, it's bumper to bumper. Sometimes it moves at 70, 80 miles an hour, but it's thick. I mean, if you allow too much room in front of you, people just pour right in front of you, keep cutting in. So I got this big guy in a lifted Chevy 4x4 truck in front of me. And I kind of stay a little ways behind him because I don't want to get the big tires flinging rocks up on it. So even though I'm going to have a new windshield and nose, I'm not looking to put more damage on the car. So I usually allow like 1 foot per mile per hour. So if I'm doing 80 miles an hour, I'll allow about 80 feet in front of me. And that, for the most part, is a good buffer zone. Takes care of any problems. Well, all of a sudden, traffic's getting pretty thick, and always driving the number one lane, the fast lane on the far left. Seems to move the fastest, and all of a sudden I see him like lurch the truck, and he like swerves over to the left, and then he hits something. He's like, you see the whole truck just like launch up into the air, and he ran over a big 18-wheel tire carcass. Now I don't know if the tire just blew out seconds, minutes before. I couldn't see. I mean, past the front of this truck, I can't see around him, so I don't know what's coming. So I see him, it's like it's slow motion. It's like, oh shit. So I immediately try to swerve myself to go around what I think is going to be a big mess coming, which it was. When he hit the tire, it just like disintegrated into big giant chunks, and just rocks and sand and big pieces of this tire carcass from this 18-wheeler plaster hit my car hard in the front, and I hear it, and I'm like driving over, I can hear it smashing stuff underneath the car. I go, oh Jesus, it's like, here we go. So I'm terrified to look at the car, and I don't even wait to get to the airport. I pull right over. I have to work my way over to the right, and I pull over, and I look at it, and I go, oh God, they smashed my front fascia, had a big crack in it. The front spoiler had a big bend in it where it caught a piece of rubber and dragged it apparently for a ways. And then I look, and the front nose and the windshield has got like 3 huge rock chips in the front windshield. I mean, like bad ones, not just little tiny ones, but something where I'm probably going to have cracks in the windshield or have to have them fixed. I go, oh God, you got to be shitting me. The hood's got several big rock chips. There's two subtle dings down one side on the passenger side where a bunch of shit went up to the side of the car and hit it really hard. So I was devastated because anyone that knows my cars and knows how I take care of them, I don't get a scratch on them. When I buy a new car, it stays new. The only reason why this car had any rock chips at all is because the other guy that had it didn't take care of it. At least not to the same degree that I do. So I go pick my wife up. She goes, "What's the matter?" I told her what happened. She goes, "Honey, it's just a car. In lieu of everything we've been through lately, don't let it ruin your day. I'm happy to be home. We'll call Tom Rafter, our insurance agent. He's going to handle it all. You're going to get it fixed." I go, "I guess. I just now have to pay a $500 insurance deductible, and it is what it is." So I take it down and I go, "Well, maybe I'll get my nose painted at least, So I go down there and I talk to the insurance agent, the adjuster at the body shop. That was my favorite body shop. They did work in my truck, like 2014 or so, and did a really good job. And they were doing a Challenger there at the time. The guy gave me a tour of the body shop. I'm like, "Oh, these guys do really good work," So I knew where I wanted to take it, and they were on our list for Mercury Insurance of one of their preferred body shops. So the adjuster, the gal, looks at it, and she goes, "Oh yeah, you're going to need a new front fascia, a new front spoiler. You're going to need new emblems. I can see the front of this thing is just sandblasted." And not just from the previous damage, but it did have a lot of new, major, substantial chips in it. And I look at the hood, and there's 3 or 4 bad chips in the hood, and I go, "Well, can't you just touch those up? Or you guys probably have a system to..." "Oh, no. Well, no, you need to have the whole hood repainted. No, you can't touch that up. To do it right, you got to take the hood off and redo it." And, "Oh, all right. Well, how are you going to address blending it in?" "Well, we'd have to, do the front fenders as well." And she looks at the front fenders. Sure as shit, there's damage on those. So, it's getting worse. And I go, "Oh God, so what, now we're going to have to repaint half the car?" He goes, "Oh yeah, in fact, it looks like you're going to need a new passenger door. We'll just redo the whole door. We'll sand and blend it into the quarter panel. We'll do the A-pillars going up into the roof." I'm like, "So you're talking about repainting 2/3 of the car?" And she goes, "Yeah, pretty much." So with the exception of the driver's door and the driver's quarter panel and the very tail of the car and trunk lid, that's the only thing that wasn't painted. They pretty much redid the whole car. So I'll show you the car and the windshield. I go, "Well, can't you repair the glass chip?" No. We'll get you a new windshield, new emblems for the hood. All new weather stripping for around the side windows, which is faded a little bit, but still was in good shape. So basically, I got this thing back a week and a half later. Got to put me in a Ford Edge, brand new Ford Edge Platinum Series, loaded with every option, sunroof, everything. And I had to pay $500, $7,000 worth of damage. Here it is. I'll show you the car. So here's the car back. It's like a brand new Challenger. Brand new emblem. I had them take the Challenger emblem off on the other side. Even the black surround on the grill down in here goes around. Would have been another $1,200 for this molded and black plastic, which had kind of turned purple a little bit over the years. She says, "No, we can have the body shop repaint that and clear coat it." I go, "Okay, well that'd be great." So that's all been redone. Brand new front spoiler. The grills are able to reuse. The headlights were fine. They polished those out. The hood was completely repainted. Brand new Hemi emblems. I put the emblems on myself. I said, "Can you give me the emblems and I'll just put those on myself because I'm real particular." So I put the RT emblem on. And there was no front license plate on the new bumper. I hated to have them drill to put the front plate on, but in California and in Idaho you have to have a front plate. So I said, "Fuck it, just put it on." The engineers designed that to be the best place for it, so just go ahead and put it on. So I put the emblems on myself and measured them, put them on precisely where the other ones were. But man, did this thing come out. Now I already had my smoked, blacked out side marker lights. They just put those back on, cleaned them up. And what they did is they polished out the door, the quarter panel, and the roof to look like new. So this thing looks just like brand new all the way around. It's amazing. This whole side was repainted. It had 2 lowered rock chips down on the lower part of the rear of the passenger door. but this looks like a brand new car. They blended the A-pillars up into the roof. Door handles, they didn't have to paint those, they put those back on. But it looks like a brand new car. They polished out the rest of it. And man, am I happy with this thing. It looks really, really good. So I got a $7,000 worth of new body work and paint for $500. Brand new windshield. Now it's ready for the trip to Boise. Since then I did some work on the insides. Now before I go inside, on the visors, you can't see them, they're black now, but those airbag stickers are bright yellow and white. I hate those, so on both of our cars I cover those up with decals. So if you look up here in the visors, I take black vinyl and I just cut out a little piece of black vinyl for both sides and put that on there. And that way from the front, I always have these flipped down just to cut the sun out. And so from the front of the car, it just looks all black, which is nice. I put my new, kind of faux carbon fiber piece here that Dodge has. They have like solid silver ones. They have this. They have a couple different patterns. I chose to get the carbon fiber one for the console, the door handles, and the dash. Put that all on. And then this shifter bezel come chrome in all of the Dodge models, whether it's a 4-speed or an automatic. I've got some special tools to pop those out. Some special plastic nylon tools that don't scratch anything. Popped them out, sanded them with 400 grit, got a good bonding primer, spray primer, primed them, let them sit overnight, lightly wet sanded them the next day, and then put on a couple coats of satin black Rust-Oleum, let that sit a day, lightly sanded again, put another couple light coats, and it looks like it was made to be black. I never liked the chrome. It was the only thing chrome inside the car and it just looked out of place. And so now it looks absolutely perfect. So I'm real happy the car is done. I'm tempted to get like an RT emblem to put underneath here, maybe at the very end or something, down on the dash, like with adhesive on the back. But this interior is just like brand new. I'm so happy with this car. It looks like new. The windshield is absolutely perfect. And I've got some translucent vinyl that Laura ordered me off Amazon. I'm going to cut out some red translucent vinyl for these, and as well as these little spotlights in the back. And that way it'll glow red inside here at night. When you open the doors, you'll have a nice red glow inside the entire car instead of the bright white at night. It's a little too stark, the white. But this car cleaned up nice. It looks nice. It runs nice. I love the engine the way it is. I'm going to touch up, paint the red embossed 5.7 liter emblems on the engine cover, and that's really it. The car is basically done. So now I have to let it sit 30 days before I can wax it. I haven't even washed it. I've just kept it garaged all this time. And what I'm going to be doing is after 30 days on the 26th of this month, I'm going to wet sand the hood down, mask it off with some 3M plastic tape, and then come in like a 1/4 inch on this inside and this whole raised area on the hood all the way back and bleeding off the back. What I'm going to do in a satin, OEM satin black, and then have a dead end right into the very nose of the front nose here. I'm tempted to put a clear bra over the whole front nose, right where the seam is, to where you don't even see it. That way it'll protect it from rock chips and what have you. But that's what I have planned. I'm going to be taking sanding and painting and masking the back rear spoiler, do that in satin black, which I think will look really nice. And then on the side here, I'm going to have the 2 RT side stripes that come up here and go all the way back. They get a little fatter as they go back, and then they kind of go up over the hips of the car, and then they bleed off level with this line here. Now some of them say RT at the end. I'm going to leave the RT off and just have the stripes cut off there on the end of it. Looks like there's some dirt or something on there. Yeah, just a little bug or something. So I have to let it sit 30 days. Then I can go over it and do the side stripes. I'm going to sand it down with 400 grit. Get some waxing grease remover, wipe that down, mask off the entire car, and paint the hood, the side stripes on both sides, and then the rear spoiler. And then it's done. And then all I have to do, once I'm in Boise, I'm going to find a shop to lower it and put the lowering Mopar Stage 1 springs in it. We'll drop it down 1 inch to 2 inches, and it's pretty much done. I'm not going to do any mods. I want to keep it all under warranty, so I'm not going to modify the motor. It just has a drop-in K&N air filter, which adds a little bit of horsepower. It's got the 40 series Flowmasters, which sound pretty good, but just not as loud as I'd like. So I'm going to be taking those out and having the resonators are removed, and I'm going to be having some Super 40s or Super 10s put on there, because Idaho is not as stringent with laws as California is. But man, it really came out nice. I mean, $7,000 later, I mean, thank God for insurance. And this is why I pay top dollar for quality insurance, because when you do need it, some insurance companies will try to fight you on it. They'll want to put like aftermarket nose pieces on. I said, no, I want genuine Mopar parts. They did. Everything on it is genuine Mopar parts. Windshield, the front nose and front spoiler, all new Mopar emblems. And man, does it look good. It really came out nice. Anyway, that's my car story lately. And I gave you a little kind of a clue as to what I've got planned in the way of mods in the future. But I love this car. It's been very reliable. It's been my dream car. I saw the 2007 Dodge Challenger concept car in '07 before it became a reality. And I said, man, if they ever make that into production, I'm going to buy one. But then in '08, it came out. But the economy had collapsed, and I was forced to get a work truck, so I bought my truck instead. But I saw these on the lot and said, someday I'm going to get one. So I wanted the last of the 1970 style one-piece taillight and grille, just like the 70 Challengers, which I had two of, including a 440 RT. So I love the car. Just once I have the satin black back spoiler, I'll be done with it. And then I might get the rear window louvers, just to give it that little retro touch. And other than that, this is going to be a very low-key car. The rims I may leave alone, or I might powder coat them either all black or possibly a bronze, and then repaint the black insets on them. So if they're bronze, let's say, I'll repaint the black on those. But I love this car. I mean, it really looks nice. It doesn't get the attention of this, you know, the crazy, plum crazy purple and the B5 blue and the detonator yellow and the mango orange and all that. But I also have never got a ticket in this car because of that, because it's a very stealth car. My wife's car is too. In fact, my wife's car, I did a little painting on it. I'll show just a little video here. I painted the grille black, which had a bright silver grille insert by the chrome. I didn't like the way that looked. I sanded it down, used the same OEM satin black on it, as well as painting the rear lower splitter on the back, which on the SR models comes in a gloss black. I did it in a satin black instead, and man, it looks so much better. To me, it's a little accents and details that make the difference. I'm not one to go overboard with decals, and I hate vinyl. I don't like doing wraps. To me, the proper way cars have always been done is with paint. We live in a disposable, big lighter age where everything is, you know, disposable. And everything they do wraps, they don't last. A couple years later, you got to redo them. You do it right in paint, you never have to redo it. You can keep it rubbed out, keep it waxed. Some of the matte surfaces you may have to repaint, every 7 or 8 years. But for the most part, it's much easier to maintain paint than it is vinyl. So anyway, that's my deal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I haven't done one of these car vlogs in a while. It's been a while, but I thought you might get a kick out of this. Seeing kind of my plans for the car. I like keeping it stock. I mean, I see so many guys ruin their cars, and it's like then later when they go to sell them or they want to get rid of them, I'm never not going to be selling this, but then they've kind of ruined it. They've taken away the originality. They've modified it with a like a sport tuner setup, and then now it violates their warranty. If the training goes out right now, under warranty. If the motor blows up, it's under warranty. If I mod that thing, though, I'm screwed. So exhaust you can get away with, and a cold air induction, or at least a cold air filter, you can definitely get away with. But I'm going to leave it all stock. That way I won't have any issues. And then maybe when it runs out, then maybe I can put a Edelbrock, supercharger. I've got a supercharger kit in mind for this thing, but that's after the warranty's out, and I got nothing to lose. And even then, I may not even do that. It's something I'd like to do. I could probably bump it up another 100 horsepower to 500 instead of 400, but I love the car. The 5.7s, you can do a lot more to them. They can take a lot of boost where a 392 can't. 392 is good right out of the box. There's really not much you can do to it other than a basic tune. That's it. So I like the 5.7 because you can supercharge it, turbocharge it. Even without forged parts, it can take some engine work And Edelbrock makes a supercharger that bolts right on. You can, without forged internals, and they even have a 100,000-mile warranty on it that guarantees 100 horsepower with a mild boost, reasonable boost without overdoing it. You just can't go nuts with the boost. But I love the car. So thanks for watching, guys. This is Dean with Mad Max RT. I'll have some more car-related videos when I can. Thanks so much for watching.